All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Prestine Parten. I'm with the Southwest REC, which is Region 10 in the boot heel of New Mexico. And I'm honored to be a part of Region 9's Tech Bits. And today we're going to be doing a Flipgrid presentation. So I am the technology director here at Southwest REC. And I have been in education since 1998, been a classroom teacher, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, not in that order, jumped around a lot, been a technology coach, worked for the district, Deming Public Schools District before joining REC 5 years ago, and been in the technology area since about 2009. And so it's been a passion of mine for ed tech. And so I'm a little bit rusty with all the COVID shutdowns and everything. Haven't done as much with the ed tech. I've been doing a lot of network type of services. So I'm excited to get back into the ed tech area. So this morning, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing some Flipgrid. And so I'm excited to have those of you joining us this morning to learn about how to incorporate video discussions with your classroom or even with your staff. So this is going to be exciting and fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get the screen started here. All right, and again, there is my contact information. My email here at the REC is pparten@swrecnm.org. And please note that it's TEN at the end. Dolly's a ton, I'm a 10. So, and one of my favorite quotes, everyone always talked about technology replacing teachers, and it's never going to happen. But of course, when you have technology in the hands of great teachers, you are going to change the world. And what is Flipgrid? Flipgrid is a website and an app that allows teachers to facilitate video discussions. So what I'm going to do, just so you all know the setup of this, I'm going to walk you through what Flipgrid is, and then I'm going to demonstrate it. So what we're going to learn is how to get started with using Flipgrid, and we're going to explore the uses of Flipgrid across all of its multiple settings. And we're going to find some inspiration with topics from Flipgrid's own Discover library. And I'm going to show you how you can get help with Flipgrid. So of course, the big question is, how would I use it in my classroom? Why are there areas that this might be a benefit to use? So if you look here, there are many ways that people are using Flipgrid. So it's not just in the school environment. You can see that you can use it for staff and PLC meetings, different organizations, book clubs, things of that nature. And throughout, you can see all different grade levels can use this. Look at this, pre-K through 8th. Pre-K, can you imagine using this with pre-K? This would be a great way to be able to do this with different things. So the first thing that you do, of course, is sign up for your free account. And so teachers sign up for a free account, and then your members, your students, your book club members, your staff, they can join your group with a join code or even a QR code. And it's designed to work with both Microsoft and Google accounts. So most school districts have one or the other, and so it will allow you to sign up both ways. There's even a way that you can sign up with a regular email account, but most school districts do have both of these in place. So then you are going to create a group. So the group is your community. Another way of saying class, but because it's so widely used for other things, they didn't want to use the term class. So this is your community. You're going to invite people that you want to have this video discussion with. So you're going to enter your school's email domain. You're going to connect it with your Google Classroom, your Microsoft Team, or again, specific email addresses. You can share all of your topics that you're going to create with them, again, using various means, and be able to have these discussions, individual topics or a whole classroom of assignments this way. So again, the group lead, which is the teacher, it can add unlimited number of topics to their group, and they can be anything, just anything in the world. They like to say that if you can think it, you can Flipgrid it. And so they can be anything that you can imagine. So members will receive a join code or a join link or a shareable link, and they must log in with their email or username. And even families, if you wanted to share the work that the kids have done, you can even give them a special guest password, and then they can join the topic and take a look at things as well. So you can share this with your community, your stakeholders outside of your school, and be able to share some of this work as well. This is what it would look like if you had a QR code, or I've named my join code my name, so that way they can easily remember it. So when you have young kids, you want to make sure that you have a small code name so that it's easy for them to remember. And then the magic happens. So they can start communicating, they can start leaving comments and feedback with each other, but you are in control. So if you have some little stinkers that, maybe they have a little naughty streak going with them, you can actually moderate their videos. You can moderate to where they can't leave comments if you don't want this to happen, so that you can have full control of what they're posting. And that way you keep little Johnny or little Susie from making any inappropriate comments or posting any videos that may not be quite appropriate for your classroom. So you're always in control of what's going to be posted on your group topics. And if you have remote learners, or if we were to, heaven forbid, go back into a remote setting, you do have remote learning opportunities out there, and you can reach out to your parents and your families and let them know how to access Flipgrid and how to make this happen when they're working from home. So there's a lot of resources with Flipgrid to help you and your families be able to use this as part of your toolbox for education. You can also see there's a lot of different things, different ideas here at the bottom for ideas that you can use Flipgrid for in your remote learning. So with pre-K to middle school, you can see here that your reading and your book talks, project demonstrations, so science fair, different things like that could be done through Flipgrid. You could have your different presentations that kids are doing. If you have high schoolers that are taking a foreign language, they can do some presentations in their foreign language. All kinds of different things. You could, even with your family learning, you could have students interviewing family members through Flipgrid. You can do all kinds of things with this. So you can get the family involved and be able to do some activities together with Flipgrid. All right, so I'm going to walk you through some different things and show you how this is going to work. Okay, so the first thing that you do, you have to set up a free account. And so you would go to flipgrid.com and go, this is the screen that you're going to see, and you're going to sign up for a free account. And so you would click on sign up. And because I've already signed up, it's just going to probably not show me the sign up screen. That's why I did that screenshot earlier, so that you would see that you could do Microsoft or Google and sign up with your school email account. And it's a very simple process. The form is super easy, and then you're ready to go. So you create your account, and I'm going to go into the profile. So you have a profile and you set that up, and your display name is what your members are going to see. So you can put your first and last name. You can put Mrs. Parten if it's going out to your students. Whatever you want to do on your display name is entirely up to you. And so this can be changed. So you can go in and change it as needed. So if you have a classroom, then, like I said, you would probably want to put your name that your students call you, Mrs. Parten, Mrs. P, whatever your kids call you. And then you can put your picture, or you can have some sort of picture there that represents you to your kiddos. So, and then you save your changes, and then you have your little avatar right there. Once you start adding videos and things in there, you will see them showing up here, and you just simply go in and add your video here. You can upload videos, you can record the videos right here on the screen, and it's going to be super easy, and I'm going to walk you through that. So the first thing you have to do is you have to create a group. And so right here, this little plus button right there is how you create a group. Now remember, your group is going to be your classroom or your book group or your staff group. So think of that group name as being how you're going to do this. So if you're elementary, you might want to do this by subject. If you are secondary, you might want to do this by your periods. So it might be Algebra 1, Period 1. It might be Language Arts, second period. However you are going to separate these, you want to kind of organize it to where it's easy for your students to recognize what group it is. It's easy for you to keep up with the groups as well. So you would name your group. And then you can go in and create your background picture. So they have tons of pictures for you to choose from, but you can also go in and upload your own pictures as well. So let's just find a cutesy little picture here. And it's as easy as that, just to put a picture in the background there. Then you come to this area, who can join. So you can say that anyone with the link can join, or only people that you approve. And so what happens here is if someone was to join, you would get a message and you would have to actually approve that they can go into this group. So again, you're always going to be in control. With email, you can go in here now and actually add all of your student email addresses here. Or you can put the domain. If you want anybody with the link to be able to join, you could put your school domain in here. So for us here at the REC, anything with SWRECNM.org, I could put that in, and that way anyone with that domain would be able to come in and join. If you have a lot of students, then you could actually put it into a CSV and be able to upload that. And they have a template for you that you can download and just fill it in and then upload it right here. Now, something with Google Classroom is if you go in and put in your Google Classroom information, it will actually upload all of your students for you. And so I don't do Google Classroom. I'm actually an Office 365 person. And so you all would be more of the experts there if you have Google Classroom. But if you put in the classroom that you are connecting it to, it will find all of those students already in there and upload them for you. And then if you have young kids that don't have emails yet, you can use a username instead. And so you have a username group, and then you just add again, younger kids are usually the ones without an email. So you might want to put their first name and then their last initial, something simple for them to be able to sign in. And then you create your group. And then it says add member. I didn't add any members, so it's reminding me that I need to add some members. And there it is. I have created my first group, and now it's telling me that I can share this group. So lots of ways that I can share this. Okay, I can just copy this link and I could email it to people. I could put it in Google Classroom. I could embed it. So if I had a class page, I could embed it into my class page. I could put it in Microsoft Teams. If I used Remind, I could put it in my class Remind. If it was a book club or something like that, that I actually use Twitter to communicate with, I could even post it to Twitter. If I wanted to use a QR code, I could click on the QR code and I could either project it if I was in a presentation of some sort, or I could download it and include it in multiple ways. I could print it out if I was in a presentation, in a large gathering. We could do a handout in that way. Lots of ways that you can do a share of this group. So now you're ready to share that group with multiple people. Okay, now when you first get started, they're going to give you a generic topic. And so these are the assignments. So if you would think of it as an assignment. So they give you a generic one. What a great way for the first day of school to introduce yourself and have the kids introduce themselves to you. So that's what that first topic is that introducing yourself. There's only one member, myself right now, but if I wanted to add members manually, I can always go up here and add members this way. If I wanted a co-teacher or a co-lead, they call them leads, then I could always add another lead right here. So if I wanted to add April in here, I could put her as my lead in here, and I could invite her. It doesn't like her in this one, but I could add her in there to be a co-lead. Now you'll notice up here is a join code. If I just click on it, it's going to copy it, and then I can paste it into an email or anything of that nature. If I wanted to put it into a document, a newsletter, or something like that. So that's how you are going to get that join code in other ways. Here's that share button again. So if you missed it that first time, you can always go back in here. There's that share again. Always, when you see the ... there's always going to be a hidden menu there. So here's a lot of things that you can do. So we've got our group. We've got one topic in here already. And then we have other things we can do. We can edit the group. So if we go in here to edit, there's that information that we've already put in. But if we needed to make some changes, we could. So if we wanted a list of our students, we can print out a list of our students. We can add more members from here, and then we can save our changes. Here are some settings that we can go into, and this is going to be important as well. So if we want all group members to view and respond to topics, we can have this turned on. If we don't want them to be able to respond, remember I told you that you are in complete control. Maybe you don't want them to be able to respond to all of these topics, or maybe you're putting this in advance and planning ahead. You can turn this off and hide this group so that you're not quite ready for them to see this yet. So you can hide the group, and when they log in, they don't see this particular topic yet or this group yet. So you have that option of playing with it a little bit, but they don't see it until you're ready for them to see it. You can have notifications being sent out to the members. So You can have notifications being sent out that tells them if a new topic has been added or new members have come on, things like that. So any type of notification, then you can have notifications sent daily, weekly, every time there's a new video or comment, or never have notifications sent out. So as a teacher, I would probably want, if there was an assignment that was posted out there, I would probably want every time there was a new video or comment, I would probably want that turned on. And again, there's a moderation that we're going to talk about here in a minute as well. And so those are some settings that I can set up right there. Oops, wrong. Again, I can add my co-leads there or over here. I can hide my group here. I can duplicate the group, so I can make it happen again and have that group repeated, and then all the settings are going to be the same, and then I can go in and change the name. I can delete the group. If I decide this is not set up the way that I want it to be set up, I can always delete that group. Teams integration, because I logged in as Microsoft account, I have Teams integration. If you log in as a Google account, this is going to say classroom integration, Google Classroom integration. And you can always export all of your data here as well. Now, if you want to see how it's going to look when your students log in, you can go to Member View. And this is how it looks to your students. So your students will come in and they will see this. And if there are videos for them to look at, then they can see their classmates' videos right here. Or if I have placed a video first, it will show up here as well. So I can record a video of the topic and maybe explain to them what I want them to do, and that will show up here as well. So this is the member view of what they're going to see. So what your kiddos will see is going to be right there. And that was on member view. Now on your topics, I'm just going to go ahead and go into this one. Here's that generic one that they gave us. So on your topics, you can decide how long you want them to make this video for. It can be anywhere from 15 seconds to 10 minutes. So you don't want it to make it so long that the kids think they have to fill up that time and lots of fluff will end up in there. So you'll see right here that you can add the first response as an example. And again, I always think of this as instructions. So you can talk to them about what you expect from them out of this and give them some guidance on what to put into their videos. Now, because this is a Microsoft product, they have Immersive Reader built right in. And if you haven't used Immersive Reader, that's probably a whole nother mini series right there, because this is a fabulous tool for students that will help them if they are either maybe learning English as a second language. It helps them because they can put it in their own language. It will read to them. It will block out other things around them so they can focus. It's got some fabulous tools in it. We also have the share ability right there. So you could share just this topic with people as well. So if you wanted just that assignment, that topic shared, you can go ahead and get the codes and embed or share just that topic, not just the group, but just that topic. And then here's where you can record your response. And so you can go in and start your magic happening right there. So I'm going to go in to edit the topic. And so you can change the title. And then you have, just like a regular Word document, you have some information here that you can add to, and you can change everything here. So I like this one. How do you pronounce your name? With my name being Prestine, I get all kinds of pronunciations. So you can put anything in here to help explain some information to your students. You can change this picture out to something different. And this is just a GIF. So you could change out to a GIF. You could put it just as a static picture in there. Here's that recording time. You, again, anywhere from 15 seconds up to 10 minutes. And again, if you put it too long, the kids are going to think they have to fill up that time, and you'll get a lot of fluff in there that you probably don't want. So think about the nature of your assignment and how much time they would need in order to fulfill that requirement. If you have attachments, you can even add attachments. So if there's a rubric for your assignment, you could put in a rubric here. You could do anything here to make that assignment as meaningful as you need it to be for your students. So you could save your changes here, but you also have some settings up here that you can go into as well. So you can, the status of this topic, again, if you are preparing something ahead of time, you can hide it for now, or you can make it view only. Maybe you don't want them to add anything yet. Maybe it's just like an announcement for them. You have some options here. You can schedule it for later. So you can go in and schedule this. Maybe it's something that you want them to do on March 1st. And so you can schedule it here, and maybe they can only do it March 1st to March 9th. So there's a window of time that they can put this in. So you have like a due date. They are only allowed to do it within this particular time frame. You have options for closed captions. And so maybe they need it to be in a different language. High school, maybe it's a foreign language class. You could put closed captions in French. And so they could hear it in English, and then they could be practicing their French and seeing that information down there. So you have a lot of options here. With the comments, do you want them to be able to respond by video, by text, both, or none? So again, maybe little Johnny is not really good about doing things like this. So maybe you don't want them to have comments into this. So you have control here on if you're going to allow them to put comments in at all. So comments are going to be allowed or not allowed. So video and text comments are pretty common. So some people like to do video comments. Some like to just type out a text comment. Response, this is another way that they can react to that. So they can actually like the videos. Sometimes kids, can be a problem, because if they don't get enough likes on their video, then this can cause some trauma, or some drama, I should say. So maybe you don't want to have likes on the videos, because this becomes a competition for some of them.
Christine, I do have one question from Ms. Dolores. She says,
Yeah.
Can you control comments per student or entire class? Thank you.
You know, they made some changes in December, Dolores, and I'm not sure if that's one of them. So I think it's an all or nothing. From what it was in the past, it was an all or nothing. And so that's why that moderating is going to be good here. So you can actually have them put comments, but you have the ability to approve them first. And that way, if it's inappropriate, then you don't approve it. And that way they can still add comments and you can approve them before they're posted. So that would probably be the best way to get that, to be able to approve them first. You see them first, then they can be posted to the class, before class can see it. Here you wanted to be able to allow attachment links. So I always like to have this, because if they have things that they want to share, maybe it's pictures, maybe it's a drawing, artwork, things like that, so they can have attachment links. I don't like to have this on, allow download and share. I don't want them to take someone else's video and download it, so I don't turn this on. That's entirely up to you. Again, you're in full control of this. Display the view count. Again, that's going to be up to you. If this becomes an issue, how many people have seen their video, that might become an issue. So you can turn this on and off. You can toggle this on and off. With the camera, we're going to go through some of the things that they can do on the camera and with their video. Sometimes it becomes more than the actual assignment itself. So some of these you might want to take off, like this one here, the expressions, the filters and the GIFs and the backdrops become overwhelming. And if any of you have used Snapchat or seen the kids with all of their Snapchat, this is going to be very Snapchat-like. And so I sometimes encourage people to turn some of these off if it becomes too much, because it takes away from the actual assignment itself, especially in the beginning. They get tired of it after a while. The essentials, though, text, drawing, photos, stickers, frames, and boards, those can be beneficial. And the sticky notes are going to be beneficial. So these two are usually turned on. The expressions, that's going to be up to you if you want to have that on or off. The guest password, this is where if you have parents that you're going to want to have them share to where the parents can see, or anyone in your community outside of the school that you might want to share this with, you might want to turn this on, and that way you can give them access to see some of this. So you can create your own guest password here. And so you can turn this on if you would like to use a guest password. And then you can save these changes. And if you want these changes to be for each topic, then you can go ahead and click on this, and it will save those settings as your default. And then you just hit Save Changes, and those are now in place. And you can go in and change these at any time. So you just go back in and edit your topic right there. If you wanted to duplicate this topic, so maybe you have a secondary classrooms that you want to have this topic in many of your classrooms, you can duplicate the topic into those. You can move the topic. Maybe it was in one group and you had meant to put it in one of your other groups. So it was in first period, but you meant for it to be in third period. You can move your topic here. So you have different things here. So again, every time you see the ... that's going to give you a menu of options in any program that you're in. Okay, so that's how you're going to do your topics and set up your topics for your students. All right, so everyone doing okay with me? Any other questions that I need to address before I move on, April?
And not in the chat area at the moment, so you're good.
Okay, good deal. All right. I am going to go ahead and take you through the camera. And when you're on Zoom, you can only have one camera at a time. So my camera is going to go dark for a moment here on the Zoom side so that I can show you the camera side in Flipgrid. Now, when you see the pop-up that says that Flipgrid wants you to use your microphone and your camera, you do have to allow this for Flipgrid to work. And so you can tell it just until I close this site, that's fine, or you can say forever on this site. And so I always do forever, just because that way Flipgrid always has that access. And under options right here, sorry, I'm trying to find the camera piece right there. Hold on just one second. I lost my camera, hold on. There it is, device settings. So right now the thinks I want to use my laptop camera when I actually want to use my webcam. And I want to change. Okay, so can everyone still hear me okay? Okay, great. All right, so now I can close that, and now you can see this is the Flipgrid camera. And so this can be used, it's going to be slightly different when they're using it on their phone, but please know that they can use their cell phones, they can use their tablets, they can use the web on a desktop. So laptop, desktop, whichever. So multi-versatile tool. So now with these options, they can upload a video clip that they've already made somewhere else. Maybe they are a little bit shy, they can just use the mic and not have the video. They can mirror the video, and what this is just flipping it so that it's more natural about what person would see. And when you can see this difference is if they have writing. So if they had something that was in writing, then it would be seen properly. So if I flip it, it's backwards. So that's what mirror video is. So if they have something that they're trying to show and it has to be read, they would want to mirror that video. You do have a mute button here, so they could mute something if they were playing something else that we'll get to in a second. They could record their screen. So if they had something playing and they needed to record that screen, they could record the screen, or if they were trying to get like a screenshot, that's what that would be for there. Okay, so there's some options right there. And again, we got to it from hitting the options button here. And then you have effects. And here's where the kids are going to go crazy. So you have filters. And again, this is going to be very Snapchat-like. So you have filters. So you can go through filters and have lots of fun. Now, let's say that you have kids who don't like to record themselves, they don't like to see themselves, and you do have those kids, they just don't like this. You have the pixelated version, so they can hide themselves and still be on the camera. Nice little bricked out version. So they have those options if you're going to require them to be on video, they can pixelate themselves. So lots of different filters here that they can play with. Oh, that's really washed out now. So, okay, now they have, I don't know why I'm so washed out now. Need a little sunshine here. Okay, so then you have text. And so they can go in and look at the different text. And they can change the color of the text. And they can change, I mean, they can just go all out here with this text. So they can do all kinds of different things with their text. And the different fonts, okay. If they have a tablet, they could actually write on here as well and change the thickness of the pen, the color of the pen. They can even do it with their mouse. Some of them are pretty talented with their mouse. So they can write on their video screen there. Boards are really fun. So there are tons of ideas with boards. Now, something here, if you have a math class, you can actually find graph paper. And that one's not the one I wanted. Let's see, this one. And that one's hard to see for me. I don't know how well it is for you, but this is graph paper. There's lined paper. And I don't know why this is so difficult to see. But you're just gonna have to take my word that it's lined paper up there. There's like a blackboard, a chalkboard, and that way they could actually do a math problem. Maybe you're doing graphing and they can actually do it right there. And so that would be a great way for an assignment for them to have to show the graphing. So show me how you did this particular assignment, this particular problem, and they could have that graph paper right there. Now you can have them split the screen, and right here, that would give them more work area to show their work. And maybe they don't need quite as much work. You can do this. Now, when the student is prepping, there's a little icon right here. It's a sticky note. And they can write themselves some notes. So I need to remember to add the notes from class. So they have little sticky notes to help them organize their thoughts while they're prepping for their video. And their video, as they're recording, we haven't even got to that part yet, but they can actually write themselves some notes, and maybe it's even like a little script for themselves. They can put that in right here, and this isn't going to show up in their video. So they have sticky notes that they can be putting in to guide them for their video. So again, boards are going to be tons of different uses that you can put in here. So again, with the chalkboards, different things, they can use the pen tool or the fonts and stuff and be able to put things right there. Yep. Okay, and then you have stickers. So you could have emojis, you can have all kinds of fun things here. So let's see here. So while they're recording, they could put a mask on. They can do fun things there. Later on, we're going to talk about a selfie that they can take. So for their title slide, they could put a mask on themselves. So you can see how some of these, like I said, you might want to actually take off because they could get a little carried away. So you have different stickers, you have gifts. There, it's hump day. We'll put hump day in there. You can upload photos. So again, if they are doing an assignment and they need to include photos, they can upload photos into this. And so they just simply drag and drop, or they can click to browse their computer. So they can search for their photos in here, put it in, and be able to just drop it right in. And they could put a frame around it. So you can see how sometimes this is going to overwhelm the actual assignment. So you do have that option to be able to turn these on and off. Some of them are going to be necessary, but some of them might just get their attention and they might spend more time on that part than anything else. So you can turn some of these on and off. And then you have, and anytime you want to take these back off, they just go right back into them and they can have a little trash can and turn it off. Like this one's bugging me. So I'm going to take that one off. And then you can click on it and trash can it right there. So you can take them back off. Then there's a backdrop. And so just like in Zoom, you can have your backdrops Well, that didn't work like it was supposed to. Okay, so the blur, you can have the background. So that way they can make sure that if they have a messy bedroom or whatever, or people walking in and out behind them, they can blur their background as well, change their background. So now that the kids are good at Zoom meetings, they probably can do these pretty easily right there. And then of course there's Minecraft backgrounds, there's fun backgrounds that the kids will really enjoy on those, but it also might relate to the theme that you are doing for the particular project as well, for your topic. So lots and lots of things that you can do. So once they have all of that set up, then they can start recording their video. Easy as this. So you just press the button, it counts them down. Hi, this is my assignment that I am doing for my class, and I'm going to talk about how to survive hump day. They can pause, they can do something else, get their props that they need for it, whatever they're going to do. Maybe they're going to write out their problem. They just go in, they get their tools. Actually, I want a pen. So they can do that. Then they can go back in, continue recording so that they can finish explaining what it is that the teacher has asked them to do. Then they can stop it again, do whatever they need to do. Then they can go on and click on the next button. And so it's processing. You can see. And they can stop it in here as well. Say, oh, I needed to put something else in here. And so they can, they can edit it. So they can add some music. Like there wasn't enough distraction. They can add some music, but only the Flipgrid music. So all of this music is music without words. So it's just music that, so you can see how the music's playing there. So right here, it says add more, so they can go in right there. They can either record their screen or they can add another clip right there. Maybe it's right there is where I need to add my interview with mom and dad. They can add different pieces in here. So they can add more to their video at any point in here. And then when they're good with this, they hit next. Okay, so they can put a caption in here. It's not necessary, but they can. They need to have a cover for their video. So they can take a selfie. So they can do whatever, right? So it's going to count them down. And they can do their effects again and everything too, but let's count it down here. Oh, that's lovely. Let's redo selfie. And it didn't even do it. I'm so good at this. See how good I am? Yeah, that's. I can't even do my own selfie. I am not good at Snapchat either, just so you know. Okay. And okay, so I can let's see here. I'm gonna put my effects in here. Actually, I'm going to add text first. I think I'm going to add text. I need a kid to show me how to do this, evidently. That was it. I forgot to have a picture first. My goodness. I guess my coffee just doesn't last as long as I wanted it to. Okay. Okay, so you guys can see that, you know, I'm not really good at this. So we'll just do just the picture there, but just know that they can put that in there. Okay. If they wanted to put a link to, maybe they have a special website that they wanted to include with part of this assignment, they could put a link in here and they could post it to something else right here. So I could add this to my profile, or I could add it to an assignment in here. So here's all the different topics that I actually have in my group. So I could put it in here. And let's see. I'll just put it in that one for now. And so I have now posted it to that topic. I'm about to post it to that topic. Okay. And so it's uploading the video. And if I was a student, it would be putting it into the assignment for my teacher. Okay, so now, all right, so now I am seeing that there's my topic picture, which I did so lovely. And I have that response now to my say hello topic. So I'm going to go back into groups. Oops, I put it in the different group. Go back to my groups. And I went into this group, evidently. So now I can see in this group and in this topic, there have been one response. And there's my response. So if I wanted to put a comment, I could add my response. Now, you can see here that that is a public response. If I wanted it just to be to that person, I could make it a private response, a private comment. And that way, the rest of the class does not see it. If I had made it as a moderator, then it would go to the teacher first, the teacher would approve it, and then it comes back to them. And again, here's some of the response information here. You can edit the response. You can do some different things there. Since I did not prevent it from being downloaded, the video could be downloaded. Different things can happen here. If I had said that it could not be downloaded, then those options would not be there. There's the closed captioning. I did not turn that on, but I could add those captions later on. Okay, so that's how that's going to look for the teacher and for the classmates when they go in. They can view it, they can add comments, they can learn from each other. So what a great way to be able to communicate with each other, learn from each other, teach each other. And so you can see this can be fun. It is going to be a great way for them to communicate with each other. And again, you're learning from each other. I always like to give the kids something that maybe I don't even know well enough. It's like, okay, teach us how to do that. And they love to be able to teach each other things like that. So whenever they're doing presentations in this way, they get a little more comfortable when it's not standing up in front of the class. And you'd be surprised at how wonderful they can be in these videos. So all right, so I did mention that there are a lot of resources that they offer. Flipgrid has some amazing resources, and you're going to have access to my PowerPoint. So I'm going to show you in a moment here some of those resources. So just to review, in Flipgrid, as the lead, you're going to create your free Flipgrid account, create a group, name it, add your students, look at your settings. You can share your group, create a topic, which is your assignment, add your images, set that recording time. If you have any attachments, your settings, your moderation, and share it. As a student, they're going to view the topic, record their video, have all those fun options and effects, add a background, music, submit their video. They can review other student work, leave kind comments, review their feedback from their teacher and their classmates. And I have tons of resources where you can get information. This one right here, the Help Center, tons and tons and tons of help there. And you can earn badges as you're using Flipgrid. Everyone loves badges, right? And be able to get that. So one last thing I wanted to show you is in that Help Center, there is educator inspiration, and there are ideas for math, reading, writing, science, social studies, things that you can get help with. So I'm just going to pick one real fast. Actually, I'm going to go into math because there's some great ones there. 6 through 8 math, ideas on how you could use Flipgrid, tons and tons of ideas. And so I believe that I am running out of time. And so I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I hope that maybe this has inspired you to give it a try. And in the resources on the PowerPoint and even that QR code, if you would like to take a look at the favorite book that I did, you can even add to it if you'd like to. So I hope that you can enjoy Flipgrid and keep in touch. Tell me if you liked it and how you used it.
Thank you so much, Prestine. What a wonderful presentation, and we appreciate your time. So I also posted in the chat room, if you do need a certificate for attendance, then go ahead and fill out that survey and we'll have one email to you. So thank you. I know. Hi, Leanne. I'm so glad you made it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.